Hello people, this is Mark from KharisChangeWorks. Guys, I hope that you are well. Yesterday's video was all about genuine people and how to spot them and different traits and that kind of stuff. Right. Today I want to talk about the exact opposite, fake people. Now, I mentioned yesterday that we're living in a world of fake news, fake food, fake perfume and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of fake about. And I also mentioned that there are people who are fake. Now, I mentioned in the description yesterday that when you go to the bank, the only way that they know that they are dealing with a fake banknote is they study the genuine article. That way they know the subtle differences between the fake and the genuine thing. Now, because I've mentioned the genuine characteristics, the genuine traits of genuine people, it's only fair to balance the books, so to speak, and talk about fake people. And trust me, when you consider the small little list that I've got here for you today, and when you consider these characteristics, these traits that these fake people, how they behave and what they do and the reasons why they do it, you will quickly realize, I'm convinced, that you will realize that there are more fake folks around than when there are genuine people. It's just a matter of fact. Also, as I was kind of contemplating the material for this particular video, I come to the realization pretty quickly that a lot of narcissists have got a lot of these fake traits about them. One of my favorite sayings fairly recently is, "It is what it is." It just so happens that when I consider narcissists and my experience with narcissists, I reckon out of these 9 little pointers, I reckon narcissists take up at least 80 to 90% of these traits. So there you have it. Okay, let's go through this list quick, eh? Fake people are full of themselves. They've got this bloated ego. The ego is so inflamed that it is an attempt to disguise self-esteem, self-image, self-worth, self-respect that might be incredibly low or maybe even non-existent. So it's a facade for them to try and compensate for these other weaknesses that are core beliefs, core values even, to try and fool and bluff you in thinking that they are the genuine article. So when you notice people with these inflamed egos, this I am better than thou kind of attitude, there's going to be a massive chance that you're going to deal with either a narc or a fake person. And that is the theme that's going to be running right across this particular video. That you either going to be dealing with a fake or a narc. By gum, what happens if you're dealing with a fake who is also a narc? Then I say to you, you've got your work cut out. Take my word for it. I know what I'm talking about. Number 2, fake people, because of the previous point, tend to be quite manipulative as well as judgmental. Narc, isn't it? Really. And why are they so? Because they're right. They've got to be right, because the narc, as you know, if you've looked at the narc series, if you haven't, please go have a look at it. There's only a few little videos that we've put on there, and there's going to come many more, believe me. But when you look at that, those traits, the language stuff that I've used and some of the other stuff that I've said, you will notice that they are incredibly judgmental, because they have to be sort of at the top of the pile and everybody else is at the bottom of the pile. It's just how it works. And if they can't get their own way, they will do anything to manipulate. I'm talking here both fake and knock here, to remain in control. So when you feel like you've been manipulated and bullied and controlled, or as I used to put it, managed, it's fake or knock, both. Who knows? Number 3, fake people have got major problems in expressing their feelings and their emotions freely and clearly. Imagine that. They can't express emotions freely, clearly. But when they do, chances are it's going to be crass, it's going to be caustic, toxic, horrible, negative, anything in that kind of a line. They very, very, very seldom will they tell you things like, wow, I really appreciate what you've done. I really love you. Oh man, I forgive you. I'm really sorry. If you've got a negative person who can apologize, by goodness, you're a lucky person. Knock's the same. Everything's negative. Their manipulation. And when they try and express these things in a clear manner, it might come across as confusing, disorientated. You might feel a bit bamboozled by how they are trying to say things, because it's not natural. It's not genuine. Again, if you notice these things, why can't you just say things in a easy to understand manner? Well, I'm struggling a little bit. Chances are. Number 4, fake people fail to learn from their mistakes. Man, they will make any excuse, give every reason that they possibly can conjure up, by not taking responsibility about their mistakes, their errors. Because it's always your fault, someone else's fault. It's, man, the fact that the air is breathable and water can be drunk, it's even that's the mistake. But they will do anything to shy away from taking responsibility by learning via their mistakes. Guess what? Knocks are the same. It is a strong, mature, responsible person that says, I embrace mistakes. I embrace the errors. Not because of the error, but because of the learning opportunities, the improvements that can be made because of the error. The knock and the fake person says, your fault, not mine. Can't be my mistake. It's yours. Okay? Number 5, the fake person has got unrealistic perceptions. Right? Now, let's look at this. Everybody has a perception. Everybody's got perspective. Everybody's got vision. Everybody's got goals and dreams. But when a fake person is so interested in buying stuff, having things, that becomes their main focus. Why? Because chances are that they feel insecure. Because deep inside they might feel hollow. I firmly believe that they know that they are fake. They know that they aren't where they could be. Hence the facade. Hence the lying. Hence the manipulation. Hence the control. Hence all the behaviors that is mentioned not only in the Knock series but also in this particular video. They know, I believe, deep inside, but they can't understand why. They can't learn from it. They can't do anything. They might feel helpless and hopeless regarding this particular issue. So what they do is they try and kind of make themselves appear successful, affluent, whatever the case might be, by having stuff. Look at my car, look at all my art, look at all my jewelry, look at all this, look at that. I've got a house, big house, swimming pool, all this kind of thing. So they focus on the material. And what they fail to understand, material things will rot and go. It's replaceable. But the stuff that is not replaceable, memories, time, emotions, relationships, those important things mean very, very little to the fake and the Knock, because they've got a warped perspective of life. Number 6, they attention grabbers, they attention seekers. The Knock's the same. They want you to focus on them. They will do anything to get noticed, man, even if it's a matter of doing the absolute absurd and dangerous. They will do it, as long as you're not looking elsewhere. For as long as your attention is on the fake and the Knock, you'll be okay, because they've got your attention. And then, whilst they've got your attention, they will do whatever is necessary to please you. Why? Because they need you. In the Knock's world, it's supply. They need you to keep them in that elevated position. It just so happens that the fake is exactly the same. The fake person has got a very hostile, sarcastic sense of humor. Everybody has a sense of humor. Some people have a dry sense of humor. Other people have crazy sense of humor. But the fake person, their sense of humor is very toxic. Their sense of humor will make you feel like, that didn't feel quite right. That, yes, it might sound funny, but I don't feel right about it. Very sarcastic, very toxic. And you might even laugh at the joke, but not the intent behind that joke. So when you're getting people who are making these snidey kind of humor for them to feel like they are elevated while they kind of depress you, chances are you're dealing with a fake. Mind you, look, fake people also lack inconsistency as number 8. Consider, there's a lot of people doing a lot of things. For most folk, they've got their vision set on one thing. And they might kind of wave around. They might snake their way around whilst they're exploring this one thing. For Laura and myself, it is KharisChangeWorks. We talk about a lot of different things. But our sole focus is what KharisChangeWorks is all about. We're looking at therapy, we're looking at emotional support, we're looking at spiritual support, we're looking at education, a wide range of things. We talk about this every single day. But when looking at a fake person, when some kind of atrocity comes their way, it's like, oh, I'm going to leave that, I'm going to focus on something else. And they're constantly bouncing from project to project, task to task, thing to thing, person to person. Because there's no consistency. Might be because of all the reasons that I've already listed before. So if you find yourself jumping from task to task, thing to thing, project to project. And if you've got multiple visions, ask yourself a couple of hard-hitting questions. And then the final point I want to bring about fake people is how very comfortable they find themselves when they isolate themselves and insulate themselves within their little group, their little clique, their little gang, their little sphere of influence. And then what happens is, very often, is they like to move to positions of power so they can influence and control. Again, feeding this narcissistic behavioral traits. And by being fake, it's very easy to do that because you already know how to control, you already know how to manipulate, you already know how to lie, you already know how to camouflage yourself in a way that seems okay and good. You might even appear that you fit in. They don't care how they go about doing this. All they care about is doing it, so they can remain dominant, in control, the boss. There's just 9 little ideas, 9 little traits of how to identify fake people. As I said at the top of this video, if you look at the narc and the fake, oh my word, they run parallel. Am I saying that all fakes are narcs? No. Am I saying that all narcs are fake? Probably. Guys, my friend, I hope that this has made you think a little bit about the people who are in your social circles. And I'm hoping that this has broadened your experience a little bit, enlarged your vision a little bit, and therefore making you socially more aware. So when you see these people with these particular traits, at least you know what you're dealing with. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's really good fun to make these. So if you have enjoyed it, please let us know by commenting in the comments box below and sharing and subscribing. And if you haven't done so, please hit the notification bell. Me and Lara are 1 away from 50 subscribers. Our goal is to have many, because we want to reach as many people as we possibly can. So please do tell your friends and your family about this channel and get them to get involved and share and get this thing going and growing. So there you go, my friend. For now, this is Mark from KharisChangeWorks, and I'll speak to you soon.